With a name like the Online Computer Library Center, it might surprise you to learn that many of the people who play a key role in maintaining the outstanding reputation of OCLC's products and services are trained not in library science, but rather in computer science. About half the total OCLC staff, in fact.
It looks like the staff is pretty much split 50-50, and that's 50% would be considered technical, and that would include your programmers, your software specialists, including quality analysts, your technical support individuals.
With such a large number of our coworkers engaged in this type of work, we thought it would be interesting and informative to ask the question, what is an OCLC programmer?
An individual that is a programmer is an individual with a computer science degree, and in addition to that they have programming experience, in other words with high-level languages. So they're responsible for coding, testing, and debugging software. There's this stereotype, of a programmer. It's this individual with, thick horn-rimmed glasses and the pocket protector and the nerdy look, and that's true perhaps in some cases, but not very much. I found a wide range of personalities from those individuals that I guess what you would call techies, all the way to very outgoing people.
Even programmers themselves acknowledge that the image of the computer professional is somewhat stereotyped.
Well, they say that there's two types of programmers. There are the techies, or the nerds, they call them more, and the guys that do it for a living, but it doesn't consume their lives,
Indeed, it does appear that programmers as a group are often typecast, and we think that's unfortunate, because in all of our interviewing, we didn't find a single OCLC programmer who fit that image. What we found instead were outgoing, articulate individuals with a great deal of enthusiasm for the job they're doing.
There's enough challenge in the job. It's never the same, and it's creative. Time goes by very fast. I really like my job.
Many of the programmers we interviewed chose OCLC for the opportunity to work with the latest technology.
I guess what's unique to the OCLC programmer is the opportunity to work on, I hate to use cliche terms, but leading edge, kind of technology. I think there's a lot of exciting projects here that are going on, and I think that's why we keep the people that we keep.
Although all of the programmers we spoke with considered it an advantage to be working on the leading edge, it isn't always easy to keep pace. Indeed, keeping up with technology can almost be a full-time job in itself.
There is a lot of stress involved in trying to keep up with that technology for programmers. And it requires a lot of work to keep up to date and current with the change, and also do your regular job.
Although months and often years of hard work can go into writing a program, in this results-oriented field, only the bottom line counts. It either works or it doesn't. When it works, there's a great sense of satisfaction, but when it doesn't?
If something goes wrong, I'm to blame. So that's fairly stressful, but it's a lot of fun.
The element of individual accountability may be higher for programmers than for some other professions, but this doesn't mean that their work is done in a vacuum. In addition to technical expertise, a programmer must also have well-developed interpersonal skills and the ability to communicate with others. All of this challenges the popular misconception that computer programmers tend to be loners. To be successful, OCLC programmers must be able to establish a productive interface with others.
It takes a lot of communication with other people to be sure that what you're doing isn't going to have ill effects on what they're doing.
Far from wanting to work in his or her own little world, programmers at OCLC are interested in using their skills to help others.
Using systems or computer systems to solve problems for other people. That is, to get feedback from them to see that you were able to implement a solution to their problem using a computer effectively.
And then especially when it gets into the user's hands, or at least into marketing's, and they are happy with it, kind of makes you feel like you've finally accomplished something.
The answer we found, then, to the question, what is an OCLC programmer, goes something like this. A highly qualified individual, eager for the opportunity to work with the latest technology.
Having the challenge of using new technology and getting the feedback from gaining that knowledge.
A team player whose satisfaction comes from using his skills and the power of the computer to help others.
The code we do is very complex, and when it finally all comes together and works properly, that makes you feel good.
And someone who meets the challenges of a difficult and sometimes stressful job with a sense of humor.
I took a few programming courses, and voila,
Is that all you
instant programmer.
Is that all you need to get in this profession? Take a few courses and you're suddenly a programmer?
Oh, I think I snowed somebody, I don't know.
So what about that stereotype? That nerdy, loner, super techie image? Well, we don't know where it got started, but we can tell you for sure that it didn't originate at OCLC.